Hey, folks, welcome back to Duke City Dog Talk. It's Lindsay here at the A mic, but I've got a wonderful guest and fantastic co-hosts, as you know, Jeff and Lisa. Say woof.
Woof, woof.
Woof.
Okay.
Happy Valentine's Day, too.
Yeah, and folks, it wasn't intentional, but we are punsters if we're anything, and I can tell you bad jokes. And, of course, on Valentine's Day, we have Lisa Hart here.
No.
Heart to Heart Canines.
Julie.
I call her Lisa.
We have so many Lisas.
Sorry, Julie. I don't know. Did I call you
Can
Lisa?
I be an honorary Lisa?
You could be. You could. What? However you identify, Jeff,
All
I'm
right.
good with.
That's
Yeah,
good. That's good.
So, we're super excited because I'm super excited. I read some of her website, watched a couple videos, and she's doing incredibly different kinds of dog training than anything I'm accustomed to. So I'm always wanting to learn new things. So first, Julie, we've got to start with an important question. Introduce yourself. Tell us about your dogs or dog.
Well, I'm Julie Hart. I've lived in New Mexico for 13 years and done dog training and rescue that time. And currently I have 3 dogs of my own. They're all rescues. 2 of them are from Las Vegas, New Mexico.
Okay.
One was a street dog up there, and the other was hit by a car and is now a tripod.
Oh, wow. Oh, I saw that one. Yeah,
Yeah.
I saw that one. Walking around. Yeah.
He's my newest one. And then I have an old girl named Shiloh, who's a pity mix from Valencia County.
Oh, cool. Anything good come from Valencia County?
Dogs.
Dogs, that's good. That's
Yes,
good to hear.
we had a dog named Oogie from there.
Oogie, that is a
Oogie.
great name, too. Yeah, for sure. So what's unique is that Julie doesn't work with, like, normal dogs. You know, she tends to
Shelter
focus on...
dogs.
No, not even shelter dogs. Those shelter dogs have already kind of been processed. Tell us about the kind of dogs you work with, Julie.
Well, I specialize in fearful and feral dogs. Of course, I can help people with any kind of dog that they have, but I got involved in that being called up to the shelter in Las Vegas when they had a large hoarding case of the lady had 96 dogs on her property.
Whoa.
And the shelter had, I believe, 27 dogs.
Wow.
And so those dogs were on a court hold, and they couldn't be moved anywhere. And they ranged from completely feral to severely fearful, PTSD, all kinds of behavior issues. And they called me in to just evaluate them. But once I met them, I was like, well, I want to help these dogs. So I called in a mentor of mine, and he came. We did a workshop. He taught the staff and me how to help these dogs, and that's
Cool.
kind of how I got involved in those cases, which are sadly quite common in New Mexico to have dogs that are living on the street or aren't really socialized with humans, and they actually make great dogs,
Sure.
great companions. You know, they're very, like we were talking, biddable dogs. They tend to be really good with dogs. They like people, but they're not too pushy. They usually have a stable temperament after they're rehabbed.
Okay.
So-
So kind of being on the streets made them kind of giving them a little character, I guess. They kind of learned to manage things.
Little street smarts.
Your street smarts, we'll
Yeah.
call it that. So, I mean, I was captured by the fact that you use smells as kind of the main part of your therapy. And, of course, my dogs are always out smelling birds or, I use smells, but never as therapy. And, most of my smells personally aren't so great, and my dogs too either.
I'm sure your dog loves them, though.
Yeah, they do. It's true. It's true. But so tell us a little more how that works, if you would.
Well, so one of the dogs' their main sense, of course, is their sense of smell. That's how they investigate the world.
Right.
That's how they assess danger,
Right.
find food, all kind, meet each other,
Right.
meet us.
Right. That's
and
true.
and doing research on this topic, actually, if we use our nose too, it does many things for us. It calms our vagus nervous system. There's just a ton of good things that happen to dogs when they're sniffing.
Okay.
They bond with each other. They can bond with us. But a lot of the dogs, once they're caught
Mm-hmm.
or surrendered or whatever happens to them and they end up in the shelter, that portion of their behavior kind of shuts down. So they're in there, they're pretty catatonic. So they're not using their nose. And
Okay.
so if we can get them to use their nose again, this can help them kind of become a quote-unquote normal dog again.
Interesting. So basically, it's the shelter experience that hurts their kind of natural instincts, because if they're truly feral, they're hunting, they're literally using their nose all the time, right? This is what I was thinking
Yes.
about before. But now that they're feral, that they're sheltered, a lot of that gets lost. Not lost, maybe mitigated, repressed, right?
Yeah, so if they kind of go back into that instinctual brain, fight, flight, freeze
Okay.
in the shelter. And feral dogs, of course, rely on those instincts a lot to stay safe.
Right.
But when they're in the shelter, they tend to just stay in that spot.
Okay.
And so using the sniffing, and the important part is people be like, oh, yeah, well, I let my dog sniff, but you're not doing it with them, which is the key component to what it's not like nose work. It's not finding scent.
Right.
It's actually joining the dog in what is very important to the dog.
Oh, interesting.
Right? So you meet the dog in their world first,
In the sniffing world.
the sniffing world.
Right.
And that way you're acknowledging what's important to them. You're being understandable because these feral dogs, they don't understand people.
No.
We're strange. We have, we walk on two legs.
And we talk to them all the
And
time,
we
right? Isn't
talk.
that the problem? Dogs are really confused by us because we talk like they understand us. And my dogs know words, but dogs really rely on smell and just observation far more.
Yeah.
That's the problem. We live in a verbal world and a visual world. They live in a olfactory world.
Correct.
Not an old factory.
Yeah.
An olfactory.
Ooh, that's a big
That
word.
word is too big for me.
Yeah, sorry for. We have these olfactory thing. We're smelling all the time. They are. Now, has it made you a better smeller? Are you olfactoring more often? I just turned that into a verb, by the way. That's not a word, I think.
It is
I don't-
now.
Yeah.
It is. Okay, it's right here, Duke City Dog Talk.
right.
Write it down. Olfactoring.
Yeah. I don't know if I've gotten better at it,
Mm-hmm.
but my daughter did tell me when her boyfriend was coming to
Mm-hmm.
visit for the first time, she asked if I could not do the sniffy thing in front of him.
Oh, so
with
you
the
do
dogs.
sniffy thing.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So-
I didn't notice you got too close to me, so I guess I'm safe. So, yeah, I didn't sniff me a minute ago.
I sit out in the yard with my dogs, and, if they are sniffing something,
You go over and
I'll
sniff.
sniff
Sniff with them.
too. Because that way, in my dog's mind, if I'm not sniffing, I'm not aware of the environment to them.
Ah.
And so, therefore, I can't help them protect our pack.
you can't
our
be trusted.
territory. Correct.
Whoa, this is crazy, making sense stuff.
Yes.
It is. I like it. So, so do you literally, like your dogs out, my dogs are out in the yard right now sniffing stuff, eating actually the bird seed that fell off is what they're doing, but when I put the bird seed out. But so like when they go sniff a tree to go pee on it, do you, like male dogs do, even females?
It depends.
Okay.
I'm not out there on all fours crawling
Okay.
around in the
Okay,
dirt.
you're not doing it.
I don't want to give people a strange impression.
No,
but-
I had the visual there. I was worried about your daughter's boyfriend. If other boyfriends, you were on all fours walking around greeting them and smelling their feet.
Yeah.
No, but like let's say I have one dog that likes to catch a lot of mice, and of course in the East Mountains there's a lot
There's
of
work.
mice.
Oh, that's a good dog.
Right?
He's going to take the cat's job.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I don't need a cat
You
because of
don't?
him. So, if he is on the trail of a mouse,
Mm-hmm.
I'll go over there and I'll be like, what you got, buddy?
Oh, yeah.
You know, and if it's under a rock, I might pick up the rock and help him, or we'll set a trap together. So
What kind of dog is that one?
he's the street dog.
Uh-huh.
So
Yeah.
he probably survived eating mice for some
Is he
time.
smallish or a big dog?
He's 50 pounds.
Oh, wow.
His DNA is husky, cattle dog, and Aussie mostly, but there's like 15 other things in there.
Well, Dachshund or Rat Terrier, maybe.
Yeah, I wonder. Yeah,
it
not
might
a
be a little
terrier.
rat
Some
terrier,
little
maybe.
some little Mouser Terrier.
Yeah,
probably.
terrier
Yeah.
probably somewhere.
But
somewhere.
he's good at it.
Oh, that
and
is
he
so
loves it.
cool.
So-
Yeah, I need one of those at my house. My dogs don't. They'll chase mice every chance they get. They chase everything, but
That's a natural prey thing. There's.
Okay.
Oh, are we getting the sign?
getting the sign. So, folks, let me just tell you, you can call in because she may have some interesting insights for you. Call us at 505-243-3333, and we're going to be back, and we're going to find out what chiropraxis means and Lima. So I did some research. I know how to pronounce those words, but that's it.
That's impressive.
Yeah, thanks, Jeff. Well, folks, thanks for joining us. We'll be right back. Duke City Dog Talk is back. It's Lindsay, Jeff, and Lisa, and our new friend, not Lisa, Hart. No, I just actually am Julie Hart.
Julie Hart.
Very
Julie
good.
Hart. I think you ought to change. Is there a Lisa Hart in your family? No? Okay, we're
There
going
is now.
Julie Hart. There is now, yeah. So we're back, and we're asking these very interesting questions about how you do this. Jeff's going to start with a question right now.
Yeah, one thing I was wondering, Julie, is when you're training feral dogs, what level of success do you generally achieve with like being able to make them fully domesticated household members?
Great question.
Lots of-
Because pretty good success. So in about 2 weeks, they're walking on leash. That's the first thing I do, because without a leash, I can't guide the dog to any different behaviors than it's done before. So when I bring it into my home, I want to make sure I'm promoting bravery instead of enabling fearful behavior. And so I use the leash. I bring the dog with me all the time. You know, we do a lot of things together, or it's in a crate. And I use the crate because that way it can't practice fearful behavior when I don't have time to guide it. A lot of people make the mistake. They bring dogs home. A lot of people end up with dogs similar to this.
Yeah.
And they may not even know that they have a feral dog because sometimes it just isn't conveyed to the adopter. And they take the leash off. And then 2 months later, they
Run
call
free.
me. I have this dog in my house. I can't do anything with it. I can't get a leash on it. And so I help them, virtual lessons usually, do all that stuff. With the ones that I foster, which is, I also volunteer for a dog rescue, and they're kind enough to let me do this. And so the ones that I foster, within about 2 weeks, they don't need a leash anymore. They're following me around the house and stuff. I'll probably still put a leash on them when I go in the yard for them to drag, just in case, the
need
old
control.
habits
Yeah.
come in and, they don't want to come inside or whatever. And that way I can just walk up, grab the leash
And not get so close, yeah.
without putting a lot of pressure on the dog
Yeah.
and bring it inside. So I'm just creating a lot of habits.
So you spend probably at least a couple of weeks taking them outside on a leash for their potty trip.
Yes.
So that what made me think about that is that the scent training and the fact that dogs have such a stronger sense of smell than people do. Dogs' view of the world is just not the same as humans. And many
Yeah.
humans that we encounter have problems with like potty training or housebreaking their dogs, because they think the dog should see the bathroom is over here, the living room's here, and outside is where they go for their
All right.
activities. And that's just
Yes.
harder for a feral dog to learn, I would imagine.
I'd say it's about the same because they're very instinctually clean. They still don't want to potty where they sleep and
Sure.
eat.
Right.
So, and I've also fostered hundreds of puppies over the years, and basically it's the same.
Okay.
A lot of dog training, the secret is
Right. Listen, folks, the secret's coming right now. This whole show
Capitalize
goes down to
the
this
secret.
one secret. Here we go. I love it.
is prevent the unwanted behaviors
Yeah,
and
yeah.
build the wanted behaviors.
Yeah.
And the prevention part is simply keeping the dog on a leash and taking it outside to potty versus letting it run around in the house. And it doesn't mean the dog isn't having fun at the time. It's just being supervised.
Very simply, I mean, the best example I have is you may keep your puppy in a kennel or not, but the first thing you do in the morning is take them out. So they learn that going out is where you go potty, because they got to go. They've been sitting in the kennel. Mine, I just leave them in the room. But when I don't keep them confined to our bedroom, he's out all night doing his thing.
Yeah.
But so that's
Drinking,
a kind of an
partying.
example. Pardon?
Drinking and partying.
Well,
It's your dog.
It's my dog. It's my dog. So my dog Kit. You probably haven't listened to our show enough to know about Kit Carson. My youngest, he's gotten into drugs. So he has been in rehab. So it's a really tough thing.
He's embraced the cannabis movement.
Yeah,
I
that's
see.
right. Yeah,
I see.
fully.
Oops.
Yeah. So, and Jeff, we all love that we have a drug addicted dog, not a drug dog. We have.
It's a drug
Two
dog
different
of another
kinds.
source.
So you're back to Jeff's question. You were saying you're seeing not 100%, but a very, very high percentage of success in doing this.
Very high. And it's all about, typical training methods. First of all, there's no information out there about feral dog rehab.
Right.
The typical training methods that are used for fearful dogs
Mm-hmm.
are usually based on making the dog do something, such as, come to me and you get a treat.
Okay. Yeah.
But what I do is I'm doing the changing. I'm presenting an example to that dog of what we do. I'm not actually requiring the dog to do a lot. But because I'm doing things that are understandable and important to the dog, I'm therefore better for their survival and their safety. And so then the dog wants to be with me. And
so you're proving, in essence, that you're a reliable copacetic. Like you're on the same page as that dog, that you have a level of connection that and they trust you, as opposed to, I do treat training some, but they trust me because they're getting food, which is their favorite thing in the world.
I was curious about that too, because I would think that traditional positive reinforcement, the treats, the praise, the toys, are just going to be like of no understanding maybe or value to them in the early stages of your relationship with them. So I'm curious how you do reinforce the good stuff. Is it mainly just minimizing their ability to do the wrong thing, or?
Well, so sense of safety survival is the number one reward. Sense of safety, if you look at Maslow's hierarchy of needs for people, safety and security is at the very bottom.
Right. It's first.
Same for dogs. And so that's their reward.
Do dogs self-actualize?
I don't know about that.
Sorry, I just jumped in. I love Maslow. Anyway, sorry.
I think we
This is a Lindsay Spaz question. ADHD brain going wild. I'm thinking about all those
Kind
things.
of like Pavlov's dog.
Yeah.
How's that?
Well, you rang the bell for yourself.
When's my treat, Jeff?
But I think we underestimate the importance we can have in a dog's life. And somehow we feel like we need something to help us. And so then we use a lot of treats or toys or praise. And if you think back in the history of dogs and people, or even look at the homeless people's dogs out on the streets, they're not getting that, but yet they're very bonded. And so I think modern training, I'm not saying I don't use obedience training and treats, and I do.
All right.
But if you combine that with trust building, then you have an even stronger relationship with that dog. So, and back to your question, full rehab takes about 3 to 6 months. I don't even put them up for adoption until I've had them at least 3 months. And then, gradually over that time, they're getting used to me, and then they're getting used to other people, new environments. So I take these dogs into Petco. I take them to parks. They live very full lives. My dog Tipton has gone to Yellowstone with me. He's gone to the Grand Canyon.
Okay.
You know,
So
so
he's got-
Did
there's...
he get Bark Ranger badges?
Yes, that's right. Bark Rangers.
Bark
I forgot about our
Rangers.
Bark Rangers. Yeah, I was thinking that you just put little like stickers on the dog. You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you could do
yeah.
that.
Been
little,
here, yes.
a little like junior ranger badge for
But
the
there is
dogs.
a Bark Rangers. It's a real program. We had them on our
Oh,
show.
really?
Yeah. No, you think we're
Check it
joking?
out.
Yeah. We know a lot of strange things, don't we?
We do.
Yeah.
We are like a virtual warehouse of facts.
That's right.
Arcane knowledge.
Arcane, for sure. Yeah. You do rehab 3 to 6 months. Do you do drug rehab on dogs? I'm just
I
asking.
do not
No,
use
okay.
medications.
No,
on
I was
dogs.
thinking more of dogs who are addicted to things. You know,
Oh.
so-
Well, my dog
Finding
Tipton
things
is...
on the ground.
yeah.
Yeah, they do get... That is one thing. And feral dogs that have been free roaming can get into stuff. They're
Oh, yeah.
very smart.
Mm-hmm.
They know how to escape things. They know how to
Absolutely.
get into things.
Yeah.
And so that's one of the main
Yeah.
addictions, quote
So,
unquote.
so
that
do
we
you
have to break.
are you regularly having these dogs at your home?
Yes.
Okay, so you're always fostering. You have 3 of your own, but you always got a couple you're working with.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you're also doing this, which I like about your system, is it's virtual. You're helping empower people who have the dogs all over the country, right, and the world.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I mean, it's awesome because I've had clients, I have one in London,
Mm-hmm.
I've had people in New York, you know, and luckily with technology,
Yeah.
I can help them via Zoom. It's not, of course, as good as being there in person, but
Right.
there's very few people in the country that have these skills, and I
Mm-hmm.
think just because I live in New Mexico, I've had unlimited opportunity to work with these dogs. There's not a lot of feral dogs in Massachusetts running
Is that
around.
right?
Well, it's one of the things you never really hear about. You hear about the feral cats all the time, but feral dogs, it's
Yeah.
kind of a rarely heard story, but it is very common here in New
Sure.
Mexico.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially, I mean, as we've had the res dog people on, they have lots of that going on out there for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
And like in Pennsylvania, there's the puppy mill dogs, right? So in there's always a need.
For different. Yeah.
Fearful and feral dogs, you know, exist everywhere. And, you know, there's rescues that import dogs from other countries
Sure.
and all kinds of things.
Which
So-
is, yeah, I've actually seen people, you know, when I travel. When I was in Mexico last, this lady was trying to bring a dog
Right.
home. I'm like, ooh, there's a lot of easier things to do than that. I bet you could get drugs across the border easier than that feral dog. But anyway, she fell in love. That's what happens. Folks, we're at break, and I promise we're going to find out what Lima is and chiropraxis very shortly. Give us a call if you have questions for Julie or for Jeff. Lisa, not for me because I don't know anything. Thanks for joining us
We've
at Duke
established
City
that.
Dog
How to
Talk,
pronounce that word.
505-243-3333. Thanks. I guess I have a walk-up song now. I really appreciate it. It was a country song. So tell us, you know, you work with people with normal dogs who have anxiety, right? Tell us
Yes.
how that works. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of dogs with anxiety or mild fear or reactivity.
Yes, for
You know,
sure.
reactivity is a huge problem. And I titled my methods No-Centric Dog Training and Rehabilitation because what I do is I use the dog's natural behaviors to help the dog either learn how to avoid conflict in a natural way or to calm the dog down, build the trust in the human. So reactivity is a lot of times caused by the dog being contained with a human that they don't trust. And they're like, oh crap, we're with this person who's getting us in danger. And so I'm going to react and protect us because I don't trust the person too.
All right.
That's not always the case, but that's kind of a general idea. And if we start to get that dog and that person, get the dog using its nose, because again, reactive dogs aren't using their nose, they're using their eyes.
Ah.
And so we get that dog learning, and this is what I've learned from feral dogs and watching them, is they want to avoid conflict. And the way they do that is to move away and sniff stuff.
Ah.
Because then they're telling the other dog, I'm not a threat to you.
Yeah, right,
I'm
right,
just
right.
here sniffing this bush, right?
Yeah.
And so if I get the owners to kind of lead the dog to do these things that the dog kind of forgot how to do or isn't allowed to do because it's on a leash, then they're like, wow, sniffing this bush feels a lot better than reacting. And so that sniffing is actually, that's safety, which is a reward.
Okay.
And so people are always like, well, but when do you use treats and that? And I'm like, well, I do, but not a lot, because the safety is the main reward to the dog. That's its main concern, is that it's going to be injured or it's put in danger. And then the person becomes the way that dog is achieving safety, and then we build trust on that.
So it's all based there.
So, yeah.
So tell us about Lima. I know that's an acronym. I believe it's an acronym,
Yes. Right? Lima is... I didn't know I had to study for this interview.
It's on your
will be a
website, by the way. Yeah, and you're certified on these things. I saw that too.
Least intrusive, minimally aversive.
Oh, okay.
The organization I belong to had Stephen Lindsay do a certification program.
Okay.
I helped to develop the certification exam.
Cool. Did you pass it?
I did.
Okay.
Luckily.
I didn't always pass the tests I wrote for my students. That was always a little discouraging.
I did.
Sorry.
I think I got 100%. But so Lima has been a main training concept for a long time about how we want to, of course, use the least intrusive, but that also means the least intrusive for the dog's humans, not just for the dog. So, for example, if the training program is very intrusive or aversive to the owners, they're not going to follow it. And so what I try to do in my training is to find something that works for the dog and the owners can have time for or feel comfortable with, that's going to help everyone involved. So that's kind of Lima. Cynopraxis means doing things with the dog. And so that's kind of what I do. I do things with the dog, not just have the dog on a leash and the dog doesn't sniff by itself, but I actually partake in what that dog
You're
does.
part of the adventure.
Yeah.
You're part of the
It's actually
team.
much more fun.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of like being a little kid and being like, hey, let's go check out this thing. Let's climb on this rock. You know, it makes
That's how
walks
kids
more
would,
fun.
largely interact with the dog. You know, you see little kids and they're showing stuff to their puppies, or they're sharing things, or
Yeah. It makes sense why dogs so identify with kids, and so are attached.
Yeah, the sort of the natural curiosity in the world.
They're out doing it together. Yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes kids are actually great dog trainers because they don't have a lot of the baggage that we might have, and they're just more intuitive. They actually can be quite good.
That's a fascinating truism stuff for sure. So, are you had several certifications I'd never heard of before. So
Yes.
tell me about those.
One is the relationship-based trainer certification through the Canine Human Relationship Institute. And that's a small organization. It's run by Nelson Hodges, who was the guy that came out and helped me with the dogs.
Cool.
And it's all about how to form a pro-social relationship with your dog.
Okay.
So it's not based on obedience training, even though that is helpful in a lot of cases.
Right.
It's more, let's build a trust first. Let's build a good pro-social cooperative relationship first. And then the actual quote-unquote training is really easy because the dog already wants to be with you and do things for you, and, you guys are a team.
Right.
So
I mean, yeah, and some of that's pretty natural. I think for a lot of, at least for me, my dogs hunt. That I get, and I love to hunt with them. But we spend so much time on the floor together, and playing fetch and things that we have that relationship. And of course, they're bred for all of that, and I key on those things. But you're kind of doing like the pre-work. It feels to me like, I know that's not fair, but after the trust, then the rest comes much more easily.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you go to obedience class, let's say it's a group class, of course, it's aimed at people that probably have kind of the mid-range dogs.
Right.
You know, not the dogs on
Right.
At the ends of the bell curve. You know, but a lot of the issues when the dog doesn't want to do obedience or doesn't understand is maybe the dog doesn't trust, or maybe the communication isn't clear between the two parties.
Okay.
So
Yeah, I think that's certainly part of what's going on all the time. And, you know, I really have seen, and, you know, I actually spent a lot of time with dog trainers. On a sabbatical, I visited all the best bird dog trainers in the country. I went coast to coast. I was in Washington and Montana, and, you know, I met the guys who were on the Purina commercials, you know, Jeff Smith. Not Jeff Smith, sorry, I just did that. Because you're sitting here,
I am.
Smith.
And I don't work for Purina.
No relationship with Purina whatsoever.
Purina full plant. Right.
I don't
Anyway.
see a lot of Purina in your store.
You see none.
Yeah.
You see none.
But the basic idea is, you know, we got to have a relationship and boundaries with dogs. That's kind of core to whatever these guys. And I watched this guy working with 50 or 60 different dogs over several days, and he was good. You know, he's third generation field tri champion. You know, those people, you know, they're training dogs for the Olympics, kind of. But so who loves the Olympics? Right here, I love the Olympics. Not loving the Olympics.
Love them.
Love them. Good. Today I watched mogul skiing. Our women got a medal, so it was fun. Yeah.
I like the bobsledding, especially when only the driver ends up at the bottom.
And until now they're sliding down in their bellies. I love that too. So we are doing Lindsay's.
Yeah, you know, that makes me question, why are there no dog Olympics? There's the Puppy Bowl.
There is a
We should
Puppy
have
Bowl.
dog Olympics.
Well, hey.
Or is that the Westminster dog show?
Yeah,
That's a beauty contest.
That is
Okay.
a beauty
That's
contest.
not
We
the
want
same.
brawn, bravery, and
That's more
ability.
Victoria's Secret kind of stuff. But we want the
Agility
whole thing,
courses.
agility courses. This is what happens.
Scent courses.
Yeah, skills. actual
Julie, this is
skills.
what happens. We do occasionally get off topic, and that's never my fault. But we are here with one more piece, Julie, to get. If you have a question about your dog, that Julie can give you some advice, and we'll give you her phone number, though you can call her and talk to her and set up an appointment next, and we'll talk about her website. Thanks for joining us at Duke City Dog Talk. Give us a call at 505-243-3333.
Woof.
Woof. Roof, it's great to have you back, and we are having so much fun talking to Julie here. And Jeff had a question that I think was perfectly appropriate.
I do. Well, I hope it's appropriate. I hope I'm not being too nosy. But I have some question about the scent work and how that works. And do you primarily interact with the environment with your dogs, or do you sometimes have to have objects with you that have different scents to work with the scent training?
So that depends, which is a very popular answer in dog training. It depends. But generally, I use the environment because it's available all the time. If there needs to be some things done maybe inside or in a more controlled environment, I will use certain things and place them around the
Like
environment.
a classroom.
Yeah, like a classroom. So, and I don't necessarily use food objects, especially with a group of dogs. That may not be a great idea, but
Problems.
things that tend to interest them scent-wise are things like tea bags, an orange, essential oils, make sure they're safe for dogs, lavender.
Natural scents.
Natural scents, right? A dirty sock, right? A glove that's been worn, stuff like that.
Yeah, sorry, my dog ate about 10 pairs of my wife's underwear and a bunch of socks. Just saying. That's one of dog's favorites, of course.
They smell like animals. It's human scents on it, animal scents. Yeah, they're scavengers.
So you do introduce those as opportunities for them to explore and to be curious. Yeah.
So usually what I want to do is I want to actually lead the dog to those things, using a leash or my body language. Because, again, I'm leading them to things they find valuable. If the dog, while I'm doing that course, decides, hey, there's really something interesting in this corner over here, I'm like, okay, let's go check it out.
Right.
So it's not a dictatorship, right?
Okay.
It's a partnership, and we're each going, because that's how dogs move through space. If you watch them, a group of dogs, like one dog will go, oh, smell this tree over here.
Oh, and they all run. Absolutely. Yeah.
They all follow each other.
Yeah,
and then the other dog will go, oh, but I found a little squirrel hole here,
Yeah.
guys, and they'll all go over there.
So watch. I hunt with another guy who's got 2 French Brittany's, and it's the 4 dogs. If they get something, they're all, and they back each other too. I don't know if you've ever seen, but the one dog will point, and the other 3 may or may not smell it, but they'll stand behind and honor that.
Interesting.
It's called backing, and so I've seen it where you had 4 dogs lined up 40 yards behind the first dog,
All pointing.
all pointing.
Do they take turns?
No, well, no. It's the closest is the one supposedly everyone's following.
I see.
But often as they sit there, they'll get the scent, and they're working their nose like crazy. So I kind of get this whole thing. And because it's Valentine's Day, Lisa had a very Valentine-y question about.
I do. So one of the things that you hear about in modern times, the search for love, attachment styles. It's a big deal. What's your attachment style? Is it secure? Are you anxious? Are you avoidant? Are you fearful? So does that apply with dogs and the relationships that we can have with our pets?
It does. There's actually I don't know if she's a doctor, a professor in Oregon named Dr. Udall that has studied this. And she found that dogs with secure attachments to their owners were more brave and would go and try things more than others. And she gave a presentation about it, and you can look up articles that she's written and things. But secure attachment with dogs is very similar to secure attachment with people, right? If kids are securely attached to their caretakers, they're more or less likely to have anxiety, use drugs.
Right.
They're more, social in the world, more successful. And so you build that by having high expectations, clear and fair boundaries, and you are consistency and trust, basically.
So, are these things I can use on my wife?
No, I don't do spouse training.
Oh,
You could do
or that will
scent
charge
today when
that's
you
what I was
bring her
thinking.
flowers.
If I brought her flowers, that would be scent training. Yeah, taking a shower, would that be scent training?
Yes, indeed. Yep.
It'd be desensitizing.
Thank you, Lisa. I can't believe you're bumping.
I know.
It's
That was
Valentine's
good. You had to
Day,
high-five it. Yes.
Yeah,
It's a virtual high five for sure.
So it's definitely going on, and that's really the core of what you're doing, right? Is building that trust, building that attachment, and it's a lifelong thing for sure.
And if you think about it, dogs are social group animals, and they trust each other because they do all these things with each other.
Right.
And that's the way they build trust. And so instead of trying to make them do it our way, why don't we just join them a little bit in how they actually do it in their communication style, and then we can kind of bring them into our world a little bit easier.
I'm really thinking it would be really fun to have you work with our pet techs, because we have groups of 25 to 40 dogs in a room and in a space all hanging out, but and have our staff also kind of be cued into the scent part of this would be really great, because we're pretty good at the behavior. We're taught a lot of that, but and they talk to the dogs too much too, because
Dogs are like, would you please be quiet?
Yeah, exactly.
I always say it's like the Peanuts teacher.
Exactly what dogs hear, I think. I always thought they heard that. Wah, wah, wah.
Treat. No, they hear that.
So, Julie, tell us about your website and your phone number, if you would.
So my website is Hart to Hart Canine. It's spelled HART, the number 2, HEART.
Okay.
Canine spelled out,
Okay.
.com. If you Google Julie Hart Dog Trainer, I pop up.
Okay, good.
I have a lot of free resources for people, too. I have a YouTube channel. I have a podcast myself.
Really fun.
There's online courses, too, because I can't be everywhere.
Right.
And so I wanted to put a lot of resources out for people who, are not near or maybe can't afford dog training or whatever.
Right.
So, and then my phone number, I encourage people to go to my website first.
I just saw it on your website. That's why I knew it was available.
There's a phone number on the website.
There is a phone number on the website.
But
they should go to the website
no one
to
needs
find
to write
it.
it down. That's right.
But I service Albuquerque area in person and nationwide virtually.
Online. Yeah,
so.
well, and we have nationwide listeners to this show. So, and speaking of that, and I'll make this announcement next week too, but we are moving from being a radio show to just a podcast. So we have loved doing this with KKLB. We have the best producer ever, and Jerry, and next week we're back, but after that we're going to be just on all the different platforms, Apple, Spotify, and all that. So we're kind of growing this in a different direction.
Yeah, we're going to completely digitize ourselves.
That's exactly right. Why not? That's how the rest of the world looks at it.
In fact,
So.
I might just be an AI avatar.
We're just going to download ourselves into situations and new bodies when the old ones run out.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's going to be...
But back to the real world, though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we get to interact with our dogs really in person.
Yeah. Dog care is not AI. I'm just pointing it out.
That's right.
It's not AI.
You cannot simulate that relationship digitally.
You cannot. So, Julie, we are very thankful that you joined us for this Duke City Dog Talk, and it's fascinating what you're doing. I'm just thrilled. So, thanks for coming.
Yeah, well, thank you for asking me. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah, great. And, folks, who knows what's happening next week? We don't know. But
it's going to be a very special episode.
It will be this because it will be the
episode.
At least the last in this generation of a KKLB Duke City Dog Talk. But Duke City Dog Talk lives on
forever.
Don't forget it's digitalized.
We'll give you details about that too.
Well, everybody, thanks for joining us.
See you next week.
See you next week. Woof.
Woof.
Woof, woof.